I just heard shots ring out and then got shot at. So there's no way he could have made it out of the car.
I told you you can't trust these niggas. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
Something's wrong with you, but it's okay, because M said it's okay, Dre said it's okay.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with this.
Wouldn't have never met him, I wouldn't have never been involved in this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never made a call to Diddy. I got Diddy's number, just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never had.
And the winner is the Eminem Show.
Diddy was plugged into every lane of the game: politicians, billionaires, rap royalty, and Hollywood heavy hitters. He was the name everyone chased an intro to, and for a while, even 50 Cent moved in that orbit, until the bond curdled and it turned into a straight-up rivalry.
Get your hand out my pocket. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing on the channel. Get your hand out my pocket, man. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, man. Yeah, you gonna make me. Okay, I'm telling you right now.
And yet, in an industry full of yes men, one name wouldn't walk through Diddy's door. One artist who kept the walls up regardless of how deep the network went. That artist was Eminem. From the jump, he wanted no part of Diddy's empire. Never in the 90s, never in the 2000s, not at any point. While others got pulled into glossy parties and backstage power games, M stayed far out, keeping his circle small and his distance even smaller.
I'm like an R-A-P-E-R, got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he?
That line from Fuel lands heavy, but here's the part that matters. By the time Eminem released that track, the friction with Diddy wasn't new at all. For years, he'd been lobbing jabs and sliding in slick disses. Back when M was still a starving underground rapper clawing for a break, Diddy was already perched at the top of the hip-hop throne, a businessman with influence, cash, and one of the hottest labels moving, Bad Boy Records. For most artists, a deal there sounded like a miracle. But Eminem didn't see it that way. Marshall kept his focus on a different lane, the one he trusted from day one. So instead of sprinting toward the shiny path, he chose Aftermath Records, linking with Dr. Dre to build a legacy that would reshape hip-hop forever. But here's what's crazy. Even before the fame, before anyone outside Detroit recognized his name, Eminem had already fired a bold shot at Puff back in 1996 on his raw underground track, Effing Crazy. That early line wasn't just a jab. It read like a flare shot into the sky. It proved Eminem never feared challenging the heavyweight bosses running the business. Even with the odds leaning hard against him, he didn't fold for anyone. And Diddy wasn't the only one. Eminem also carried tense energy with another so-called giant, Suge Knight, the force behind Death Row Records. That label once ruled the West Coast, housing icons like Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre. Suge's name wasn't only about influence, it was tied to fear. Whispers painted him as the boogeyman of hip-hop, the figure you didn't cross if you cared about staying safe. Suge didn't stack his empire with kindness. He built it through intimidation, chaos, and iron control. His code was basic. Power first, mercy last.
They was not scared of Suge Knight. Terrified of Suge Knight.
But Eminem gave zero weight to Suge's street myth. None of it rattled him. That fearless streak got loud and clear during one chaotic moment on the set of 50 Cent's India Club music video. Without warning, Suge Knight showed up, deep with a crew of Mexican gangsters, making sure everyone remembered he still had street leverage. The temperature spiked instantly. Everyone understood. Suge arriving meant danger. But Eminem didn't blink, didn't duck, didn't retreat for a moment. That day made it obvious how little he feared hip-hop's so-called boogeyman.
Suge's outside. Suge's outside. Everybody like, he was running, dropped his like.
So Suge came, he had some Mexican niggas. Now, we from New York. You ain't never seen a nigga with a tattoo on his forehead. 118th Street crew. I'm like, what the fuck?
Eminem didn't pause for even a heartbeat. Instead of hiding inside or letting security play shield, He simply walked out and confronted Suge Knight and his full crew on his own. No wavering, no wait a minute, just straight confidence. Every person on set could taste the tension, yet M stayed planted like he had a point to make. It wasn't merely bold. It became legend.
When I knew Eminem was real, he's like, I don't give a man. This is when I fit these niggas outside. What's up? And then the nigga Suge just walked away. The Mexican niggas looked kind of confused, like they didn't know what's going on.
Once that face-off ended, Eminem didn't brush it off. He went straight into the booth and cut a full diss track aimed directly at Suge Knight. But here's the catch. Back then, the public never heard it. Dr. Dre stepped in and told him to cool it, saying it wasn't his war to fight. Dre wanted calm because he understood how dangerous Suge's reach could be. Still, that track didn't remain hidden forever. Years later, it leaked, and it was nasty. Every bar swung like a sledgehammer, showing how deep that tension ran between Eminem and
Suge responsible for the deaths of the two greatest rappers to ever grace the face of this planet.
If Eminem had the nerve to lock eyes with Suge Knight, one of hip-hop's most feared figures, why would he ever be scared of Diddy? That's the real question. When you stack up everything Puff has been linked to over the years, it's hard to even decide who carried more power or who was more dangerous. Suge had that street aura, but Diddy? He played his game from inside the industry, yanking strings where cameras couldn't see. But back to M, he wasn't finished throwing shots. In 2000, on his Marshall Mathers LP, he aimed right back at Diddy again. Was it the harshest line he's ever delivered? No. But it still landed with weight. A reminder that Eminem wasn't built to play nice with hip-hop's elite.
Is it because you love me that y'all expect so much of me? You little groupie bitch, get off me, go fuck Puff.
Then another line arrived, one that shoved everything into a new zone. Eminem brought up Diddy's girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez. And let's be honest, the lyric painted a far darker scene than before. This wasn't a playful little punchline. It was grim, awkward, and designed to shock. That bar made listeners stop mid-breath because M was showing he'd censor nothing, Diddy, or anyone tied to him.
Sorry, Puff, but I don't give a fuck if this chick was my own mother.
Then Eminem followed with another twisted line, I have a son and a new brother at the same time, and just say that it ain't mine. What's my name? That lyric blindsided everyone. It was reckless, pitch black funny, and obviously meant to stir the pot. But did he? He didn't answer with anything. No diss track, no statement, no reaction. Still, you could feel he didn't find it funny at all. Even with those loud shots flying, there was never a public, open feud between Eminem and Diddy in the early 2000s. Both were busy building their own kingdoms. Eminem was crushing charts with multi-platinum runs under Dr. Dre's guidance, while Sean Combs kept reinventing himself, expanding the bad boy empire, shifting from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy and then just Diddy. Their worlds rarely collided, except for the occasional award show or elite industry event where both were treated like rap royalty. One of those run-ins happened in 2003, when Diddy handed Eminem a Grammy for Best Rap Album. The room roared and cameras popped, but watch closely and the energy feels cold. There's a quiet tension hanging there, like both men knew the smiles were covering a longer history than anyone wanted to admit.
And the winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show.
What's fascinating is that Diddy has always acknowledged Eminem's skill, even when tension lingered. In a 2003 Rolling Stone interview, Sean Combs spoke about Eminem with genuine respect, calling him one of the greatest MCs to ever touch a mic. He said, I think Eminem's up there with the best of it. Diddy even made sure to add that Biggie and Tupac were, quote, a different caliber. But to him, Eminem still ranked as incredible on his own. That moment proved Diddy wasn't blind to Marshall's impact. He praised him publicly, even when most assumed he wouldn't. And still, through that maze of industry connections, their paths crossed in strange ways. Back in the early 2000s, Diddy had his eye on a rising star, 50 Cent, but the deal never happened. The word is Diddy passed on signing him because of 50's ongoing street beef with Ja Rule, making it feel too risky for Bad Boy Records. That choice reshaped hip-hop history. 50 Cent ended up signing with Eminem and Dr. Dre instead, one of rap's most explosive power moves. Together, they moved tens of millions of records, turning 50 into a worldwide name and a shared link between M and Diddy. Then the noise faded for years, until 2015, when it got messy again. A shocking documentary dropped, Murder Rap, Inside the Biggie and Tupac Murders, where retired LAPD detective Greg Kading claimed that Diddy allegedly ordered Tupac's murder for $1 million and that one of the shooters was Keef D. As soon as those accusations hit the internet, 50 Cent didn't waste time. He echoed the claim publicly, saying Diddy might have really been behind Pac's death. That lit old suspicions back up and dragged Diddy's name into one of hip-hop's darkest mysteries all over again.
I told you you can't trust these niggas. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
Eminem eventually added his voice too, just later. In 2018, he released the now famous diss track Killshot, aimed straight at Machine Gun Kelly, and the entire scene buzzed. M wasn't only defending his name. He was reminding everyone who still controlled the mic, and in the middle of those razor-sharp bars, he tucked in a line that made heads turn, one that quietly looped back to Diddy and kicked off a fresh wave of theories and arguments.
Counts the day you put out a hits, the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out, they got pop kill.
But then the last line of Killshot landed, and it shook everyone. Eminem closed with, "I'm just playing, Diddy. You know I love you." One bar, and the internet went up in flames. Was it a joke, or was something else hiding under it? The arguments wouldn't end. Some called it classic Eminem comedy. Others heard something more pointed, especially with all that history. Social media spiraled, and hip-hop forums flooded with theories. Then a behind-the-scenes detail hit. According to Joe Budden on his podcast, Diddy wasn't amused at all. When Killshot dropped, Combemies was reportedly furious after hearing it. That calm, "You know I love you" tag stopped sounding playful. It sounded like M was tapping at something deeper, something that hit a nerve.
Puff said it's in his hands, and he said I can say it. And that's the end of that.
Have fun with that one.
He said, there's nothing to say about it. It's in my hands.
Years ago, Diddy could brush Eminem's shots aside like background noise. This time, not the same. That Killshot line drifted way too close to something he didn't want reopened. For Diddy, anything tied to Tupac has always been a raw nerve. Bring it up, and his whole vibe shifts. When those questions surface, he shuts them down, dodges them, or redirects the conversation. So when Eminem casually connected his name to that old rumor, it wasn't just a disc, it was a trigger. That's why Diddy couldn't play cool. It poked at a nerve that's followed him for decades, one he's tried hard to keep buried.
Now let's talk some hip-hop shit, man. I want to talk to Puff right now.
Yes.
Now it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah. Check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect. But I appreciate you as a journalist asking.
All right.
Thank you.
Later on, when Eminem spoke about his beef with Machine Gun Kelly in an interview, he let slip a detail that said plenty. He hinted that he and Diddy had no link at all, not even casually. He made it clear they didn't have each other's numbers. And there was zero communication between them. That single comment told the whole story. No friendship, no alliance, just two massive figures in hip-hop existing in totally separate worlds.
They never made a call to Diddy, really? Yeah. I got Diddy's number, just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
You'd assume after everything in 2018, Eminem and Diddy would stay far apart permanently, but nope. A few years later, their names showed up side by side again. In 2020, Eminem released his album Music to be Murdered By. And on the explosive opener Godzilla, he dropped another quick nod to Diddy. Not a full diss or anything, but fans caught it immediately. Just enough to prove the tension never fully disappeared. It was still there, under the surface.
Call me Diddy, 'cause I make bands and I call getting cheese a
That quiet didn't hold for long. By June 2020, the temperature rose again when a previously unreleased Eminem verse leaked online. It was recorded the year before for the remix of Conway the Machine's track Bang, and this version had teeth. In that original verse, Eminem went straight at Diddy's media company, Revolt TV, calling them out in a blunt, no apologies way. The delivery was sharp. No softening, no careful phrasing. The leak sparked a small scandal across hip-hop, with fans arguing over whether Eminem was reopening old tension with Diddy, or just venting about the media world.
Shout the puffy cones, but fuck Revolt.
In under 24 hours after the leak caught fire, Eminem stepped in to calm it down. He posted a quick Twitter statement admitting the verse was written in the heat of the moment and wasn't intended for release. He said he respected Revolt TV and didn't want beef with Diddy or his camp. The apology arrived fast, but the noise kept rolling. Observers kept debating whether a quiet strain still existed between the two icons. But the biggest detonation in this story didn't come from Eminem. It came from Diddy himself. By fall 2023, his world began to fall apart. Multiple women came forward with serious allegations of sexual assault and abuse, revealing a disturbing picture of what was allegedly happening behind closed doors. The most shocking move came when Cassie, Diddy's longtime ex-girlfriend, filed a lawsuit describing years of alleged mistreatment, physical violence, and control. Those details stunned the entertainment world. And then, when it felt like it couldn't get darker, another headline dropped. Keith D., the same man long rumored to have knowledge about Tupac's murder, was arrested. What made it even wilder was that before his arrest, he'd been doing YouTube interviews, openly talking about his connection to Diddy, and even claiming that Puff once asked him to help handle Tupac, a murder he admitted being involved in himself. That shook the music world and revived decades-old questions most thought were gone forever.
Dude just ducked his head, and the first bullet went in his head, so the next one's hit him.
With all that chaos swirling, Eminem came back swinging harder than ever. He released his album, The Death of Slim Shady, and this time he didn't tiptoe around Diddy at all. One song in particular, Bad One, had everyone talking. On it, M drops sharp, cryptic lines that seem to point at the infamous Diddy parties, the same ones the internet has whispered about for years. He spits, and me offering you is nothing new. It's what I love to do. This is subterfuge just to screw with you. And yeah, this much is true. That verse hit like bad weather. Light on top, but layered underneath in a way fans couldn't ignore. Listeners instantly broke the lyrics apart, asking whether Eminem was aiming straight at Diddy again, using razor-wire wordplay to spark a fresh storm of controversy.
Sounds like something that Puff would do at the party with Aaron Hall, 'cause I just love to fuck with you.
On another track called Antichrist, Eminem pushed into an even darker space. Here, Marshall referenced the shocking footage that surfaced showing Diddy allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie. It dragged listeners back to the headlines that had rocked the industry months earlier. Eminem didn't soften it. He pulled that disturbing moment into his bars, using it to underline how far Diddy's image had dropped in public view. The mention was short, but it landed with crushing force.
She probably ran out the room with his fucking dildo. He tried to field goal punish, she said to chill.
But the coldest, sharpest hits at Diddy came on Fuel. This is where Eminem fully cut loose. No restraint, no safety rails. Each bar sounded personal, poisoned, and precise. Fans immediately knew this wasn't a standard rap jab. It played like a declaration, a lyrical takedown aimed directly at Diddy's name. Fuel didn't just call him out, it scorched everything around him.
I'm like an R-A-P-E-R, got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P.
On Fuel, Eminem delivers one of the most controversial wordplays of his career. He spits R-A-P-P-E-R spelled without a P, spells raper or rapist. Then flips it again by saying, and the essay's short for sexual assault. It was a brutal double entendre, one that had everyone's jaws dropping. Then he pivots instantly, adding, R.I.P., rest in peace, Biggie and Pac. Both of y'all should be living. But I ain't trying to beef with him because he might put a hit on me like Keef D, get him. That verse sent shockwaves through hip-hop. Eminem was clearly pointing at the decades-old rumors about Diddy's alleged links to the murders of Tupac and Biggie, a subject most rappers won't even approach. But M didn't stop there. On the Fuel remix, he pressed the story even harder, rapping that Biggie's death was the domino effect of Tupac's murder. It was fearless, eerie, and dangerously specific. Audiences couldn't believe he said it so plainly, and the internet erupted into theories all over again. Eminem wasn't just stirring the pot. He was striking a match under one of hip-hop's darkest conspiracies.
Next bus till he's in police handcuffs. Guilty, will he step up like G never turned himself in?
After everything Eminem said about Diddy on the death of Slim Shady, one thing is obvious. These two aren't friendly. There's no off-camera handshake coming. No hidden peace deal. Eminem's loyalty has always sat with 50 Cent, and that means he'll never stand next to Diddy. On stage or off, not publicly, not privately. And from the way it looks, Diddy's taking it personally too. After 50 Cent released his documentary exposing old industry secrets, Diddy reportedly sent him funeral flowers. A move that felt like a message, not a kind gesture. So no, it wouldn't be shocking if Diddy also holds resentment toward Eminem. All of this points to one truth. Eminem's never feared anyone. Whether it was Suge Knight back then or Diddy now, Marshall Mathers has always met power head-on, never retreating, no matter who's in front of him. If you thought this story was insane, wait until what's next. The next video digs deeper into the madness, exposing names you probably never realized were tied into this drama. Go watch it now and tell Blackline Briefs what you think afterward. Trust me, it only gets crazier from here. But before you leave, what's your read on this whole situation between Eminem and Diddy? Do you think it's all lyrical warfare, or is there real tension hiding between the bars? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your side of your